Eric.
Hi everyone, I'm back from. When was the last time I was here?
Man, it's like been like 3 years, bro. We've only been on for 2, but still.
Yeah, took a little break.
Irene's back. It's time for you to come back.
Oh, she's back?
Yep, but really quick, let's relieve the stress with some ASMR. I got y'all, don't worry. Doing better. Alright, cool. Before we jump in, just so that everybody knows we're in my garage and the logo you see, we're not sponsored by anybody yet. Andrew's quit messing around, man. Like, I should be #1 stockholder. I spend enough money. The boxes, everyone can see the stats. That was like 2 days. I'm just saying. Come on, man. Bring it. Anyways, super excited today. Have another guest coming on. Alright, I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself. I've watched your TikTok, so I want that same intro you bring.
Yep.
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Which one? I got a few of them.
You pick your favorite. You pick your favorite.
Man. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Chris Detroit. You know, right here we at the podcast.
In the garage.
In the garage. You know what I'm saying? With my peoples. Representing the city, 817. Diamond Hill, Fort Worth, Southside. We in the building.
Man, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I don't know what was told to you about this podcast, but as you can see, it's very low budget. I'm sure you're above our level at this point. Because the tens and tens of people that watch us, it's not a lot, man. Is it, what is it? Hang on, what is it? Is it Giving Back Week? Charity Week? So let me find some people. Let me give them a time out.
Honestly, you know, like, I've been getting hit up by, bro, I got podcasts and other states hitting me up and stuff like that, you know. I want to be real selective, especially whenever I want to share information about me and my life and who I want to help put on the platform that I've been blessed with and stuff like that. So, but, you know, you guys, shout out to my cousin Marcus.
Yes.
And, you know, he basically set this up with you guys. And, you know, I was excited to come over here regardless of whatever. You know, I had a couple of questions, you know, but I'm ready, you know, like, y'all from the city, we from the same city, you know, so I'm with it, you know. I've been turning them down left and right, though. Okay. But I did do a podcast last week.
Which one did you do?
I did Elm Street. Shout out to Elm Street. Marcus actually set that up too. So.
Marcus has said that.
Hey, they've been hitting me up, Mark, and I just, you know, I'll look at them and be like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I feel bad because I should have probably done a couple of them. One of them was a pretty big one, and I was like, I messed up. I should have at least replied. But anyhow.
Bro, I gotta tell you, you gotta be careful. Keep shouting out Mark. He's gonna be like, all right, so percentages. Let's talk percentages. I do gotta fill you in on a little something, and if you get up and go, I understand completely. Somebody, I won't say who it is actually from Chicago. But Eric, the guy that I run this with, he's a Fort Worther as well. But she's filling in because he couldn't be here.
So who he's talking about is me?
Yeah, family stuff.
So I have a question for you.
That's good. We'll see what
So, since I'm not from Fort Worth,
okay.
I want to know what you do or who you are as a person, not platform-wise, but who you are as a person.
Chris Detroit? Okay.
That just got deep.
Chris Detroit is, you know, it's hard for me to just say who I am. But, you know, like, if I can tell you who I'm just a regular person, you know, I'm just a regular person. I've been making music for a long time since I was a kid. I made a lot of sacrifices to get where I'm at right now. I'm not like in the best position ever, but you know, I'm doing pretty good and I'm blessed to be in the situation that I'm in as far as the music. And you know, whenever I talk about, if I tell you who I am, you know, I have to include music because that's my life. I wake up.
I see the mic tattooed on your arm, right above the cross.
So like, so I have to include that in whenever I talk about me. But as far as me, I try to be like, I try to be the best person I could be. I have genuine care and concern for everybody, and I always want to do the right thing. And basically, that's me. I try to be a leader. I try to help people out. I try to do whatever I can to do the best that I can in this world to reach my full potential and help family and friends and people that I see have potential reach their full potential and just be a good person all the way around. That's what I try to do.
That's what's up. I love that too, because I think some people, when they start to, and I can't speak for everybody, because a lot of times we don't know a lot of these people personally, right? But they hit a certain spot, and it's not about where you came from, it's where you're at, And so I respect that you said that. That's awesome. Heck yeah. But you said you've been doing music since you were a kid. And I read, whoever wrote your bio on your webpage, was that you? Did you write that?
No.
Whoever wrote that, shout out to them. They put it together. I was like, there's a story here. But I saw some of your influences.
I don't even know what it says.
Some influential music that it says was on there was some old school country, like Willie, Waylon.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I was asked those questions about
So-
that. Yeah.
So growing up, had you always doing music? Was it always country inspired?
Solo? No, for sure. Of course not. Of course, as a younger kid, I was like influenced by the streets and stuff. But
Yeah.
so whenever I was a kid, and my grandmother raised me, so and she wasn't married. She had a boyfriend at the time, and he used to listen to oldies. So that's a lot of the music that I listen to. But whenever my mom would pick me up, because she would pick us up from my grandmother's, and we would roll with her, she would listen to country music. So that's whenever I was introduced to all these country artists like Art Brooks, George Strait, Clint Black, Brooks and Dunn, Reba McEntire.
There you go.
Like all these old school country artists, and we had all these songs that we would listen to, and those were really memorable moments spending with my mom, because I didn't live with my mom.
Yeah.
I would go home to my grandmother.
So it's kind of nostalgic whenever you hear those. It takes you back to those days.
Mm-hmm. And whenever, so the music, man. So I didn't, I listened to it. Those are like my favorite artists. Willie too. And like a lot of the older country. The classic country and from the 80s and 90s country.
Yes.
That's my favorite country.
Yes, absolutely. It's, for me, that's all I listen to now, right? I grew up, I'm a Gen Xer, so I grew up on like the gangster rap. And so whenever the rap kind of changed and it went more of what they're doing in the club, stuff like that, right? I kind of lost interest. And that's when I turned to country, because country still tells the story.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I also read in your bio, that you look, and your music is inspired by storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
And so that was one thing that interested me about you as well, especially, I don't know how old you are, you don't have to tell us, but I'm sure you're a couple of years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
But to know that you're doing the music that still tells stories, that's our release, right? We can listen to a song, hear the story, and kind of put ourselves in that scenario and be able to just, I guess, live through music.
What I love about, for sure, all of that. And the country music, because I made music and I wrote music, different kinds of music, like hip hop, like Latin hip hop, like freestyle hip hop.
There you go.
So that's where it started. Writing music for my brother, who sang back in the day. He actually did a whole album with SPM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and but so it started right there, and I actually was rapping, and I love listening to country too, so it was like a whole mixture of things. But as being young, you want to do what all the kids there, like it was the cool thing to rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what you wanted to do. I mean, you had to really step outside the box until you're telling your friends that you grew up. Like we grew up here in Fort Worth, and this is Cowtown. This is a country. Like it doesn't matter. If you grew up in Fort Worth and you lived in Texas and you stayed here for some years, you're gonna have some country, and it don't even matter if you don't ride a horse. It don't matter because you're gonna be in a truck. I guarantee you, one day you're gonna ride in a truck for sure. And you might end up at a farm or a ranch, you know, but you might not be on a horse. But either way, you're gonna have some country in you, whether you know you're out on the farm or the ranch every day or not. So that's just this city right here, and
Yeah, man, it definitely like, yeah, absolutely, nail on the head. On
so
that.
the inspiration for the country music for me was always there. And I actually, while I rapped and stuff like that, you know, I used to rap only by Chris Cash. And I did a lot of shows like with a lot of artists, like Tejano artists, big artists. I was blessed to be on a platform back then as well.
Yeah.
And I kind of gave it up. I went to prison. I don't know if y'all know my whole story.
We don't. If whatever you want to share,
But
you're not
I went to
obligated.
prison, and I got out of prison, and I kind of like changed it up. But I was already in the industry. I knew a lot of people, like from Dope House, like Baby Bash. You know, my brother actually lived with Baby Bash for like 2 years in Houston.
Oh damn.
So I was blessed to be able to have a lot of inspiration around me. And you know, for me, you know, on top of writing music, I was a producer. I started producing music. I had an instrument called the chord Triton, and I used to work the chord Triton. A Triton is basically, it's just a keyboard, and back in the day it would have like these floppy disks, and then it would have a whole sequence to where the floppy disk had all the different sounds, you
She's
know.
confused, bro. She's like, "What's a floppy disk?"
You know, like analog stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how we made beats back in the day on the keyboard. You know, now you got Fruity Loops, all these cool, awesome programs on the computer that you can use that sound like guitars and everything. But so for me, I went through all these phases anyhow, and basically right now I'm back to where I want to use live drums and I want to use live instruments and stuff like that, because I've already grown out of all the rap stuff and all of that, you know. So
Yeah.
but I honestly feel like it was like a stepping stone for me. It's whenever it comes to writing music and finding who I am as a grown adult, growing up as an adult, you know, and putting that lifestyle behind me. But it was a stepping stone there for, you know, learning to write music. Like I learned a lot, like rap music. You learn how to write, and then before you know it, if you could add like feeling and stories behind that, and then make it rhyme and all of that together, then it's like, wow, you know, that's the ultimate package in the end, you know. Whenever you start rapping, you're just mixing words that rhyme and trying to look cool and sound cool, but whenever you can put a story behind it
Yes.
and put feeling into it and people can relate to it,
I
then
was gonna say relate to it.
yeah,
That's what
that's
it's.
a whole different thing, you know, it has substance. So and that's one thing that I've learned to make in my music is add substance, and I enjoy doing it. I actually enjoy making music with substance more than just like club music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Club music is cool, dance music is awesome, especially in country, two-step.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but you know, I feel like substance is always there, and people want that feeling. You know, you want to have a feeling, and you want to be able to relate to it.
And it's ironic you say that. I was watching the old Tiki Taki, I think it was yesterday, and there's a younger guy that has an acoustic guitar, and he takes some of this old school rap, back in the day when it was storytelling, and he turns it into country music.
Oh wow!
And you're like, hang on, I could probably get behind this. Like, I need all this, like, in my truck, right? Like, I could get behind it. He was going out some old Warren G, Snoop, Dre,
Oh wow!
and I was like, he was putting his chords together just like perfect, and I was like, this actually goes together. It makes sense. It's like this is like hip hop and country mashup together where it actually makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Whenever you can bring the live instruments into the equation with the music, it's always amazing, you know, because it's just better.
Oh no, acoustic. I've always said that like my favorite. If I could ever choose one concert that I could do, it would be like a Luke Combs, a Chris Stapleton, a Zach Brown around a campfire, a Chris Detroit around a campfire with a couple of other lights and an acoustic guitar and just listen. Like that is the best. I just don't like crowds, right? I'm a Gen Xer. I just want to be away from everybody. But just to be around, you know, cold November night, we're drinking, we're strumming a guitar, and we're listening to some lyrics. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah,
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
I speak Gen Z, so I understood exactly what you said. I understood exactly what you said. I've been studying. I'm fluent,
Yes.
bilingual.
We're talking about guitar. Shout out to my little bro Thomas Christian. That's my bro. He's been like stepping his guitar game up, and he's amazing with the guitar.
I saw some of those too. Yeah, yeah. There was one that y'all did together. I forget the setting, but he was on his guitar. He started, and then you came in. I was like,
yeah, that was actually unexpected. Like, I didn't know we were gonna. We were just hanging out. That was in Colorado. We had just done a show in month at East Side. Shout out to Southern Colorado, man, because I have so much support out there. It's crazy. It's like I pull up out there and like. The feeling is like, man, just shout out to all my people out there.
So let me ask this then. You go through a phase as a child. Music is everything. You have your personal struggles, you go do whatever you had to do. And then you come back and you start making this music, and now people know who you are. Like, how does that, what's the feeling whenever you pull up somewhere and you're just like, oh, they know who I am?
That's pretty cool.
I feel like it's crazy.
So,
Like to wake up one day and
whenever I realized that was really happening,
Yeah.
was just this year,
Okay.
and I believe we were coming back from. To me, I was on tour with Louis, the singer. Shout out to my brother Louis, and I'm gonna say when we started our tour, there was there was a time where Louis and I went to do meet and greet here and a meet and greet there.
A meet and greet, bro. Did you ever think you'd be doing a meet and greet?
Well, so let me tell you though.
Tell me.
Whenever it first started, there were like nobody there. You know what I'm saying? But it was there was nobody there. So it was for Louis and I too. But it was one of Louis' the first one, and it was Albuquerque. He's like, Chris, come on, let's go to Albuquerque. We got this meet and greet. Ooh, ooh. And we ended up meeting with Amanda Panda and Danny G. And then we're like here at this place, and don't nobody know Louis or me. And they're like, a couple of people went up to Amanda, and that was it. But it was cool. It was fun. It was awesome. And then, but for whenever I knew that people, back to the question.
Okay.
We were coming back from Harlingen, Texas.
Been there a lot of times.
And we performed at, I think it was Cobras. I think it was called Cobras in Harlingen, and it was awesome. Shout out to everybody in the 956 by Yuko. But yeah, and we're at the checkpoint, y'all. Pulled up to the checkpoint.
I was sort of afraid of that.
We're in this van. We're in this big old van, and it's Louis flew, so he's not even in there. It's just me and all the security. We got all these guns, and I think they made me get rid of the weed. So I was mad, But anyways, we pulled up to the checkpoint, and one of the guy, he's like, what did he say? He says, "Are y'all like a banda or something?" And one of the securities, Josh, shout out to Josh Flores. He's an amazing guy. All the security for Louis, all the Flores brothers. Jesse, shout out to Jesse. Everybody.
They're only going to see this if you share it, right? Because they probably don't follow us.
Hey, it's all good. I'll share it.
Thank you.
I got to shout him out. So
I appreciate it.
Josh was like, hey, we're with Louis the singer, and he flew back, but we got Chris Detroit in the back. And so the guy was like, Chris, are you back there? And I was like, oh, yes, sir, I'm right here. And he was like, all right, y'all go ahead. And I was like, dang, for real, did you just do that? Y'all go ahead.
That's
y'all
what
go
you
ahead.
did?
That's whenever I knew. I was like, dang, this fool knows who I am. Oh, and we were riding horses down there and stuff, and so I guess they had a party. We got invited to ride horses, and so this guy, he was like he worked for the city somehow. And his family members, they were like from Detroit, out of nowhere. How you from Detroit? Wow, Chris Detroit is here. What? You're like huge, man. We're huge fans, and I'm like, for real? That's cool. That's good to know. It's good to know, but yeah. So it was. I guess then is whenever I really started to feel like, wow, this is getting crazy.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. So my story at that checkpoint, the same one, is a little different. It's a lot different. So I get up there, and then, they ask the question, "Are you American citizen?" Blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, "Man, I will be as soon as you let me go." And so of course we got asked to pull over and got searched and all that stuff.
Oh
and,
man.
yeah, so mine was a little different. Yeah, you were there.
So they didn't take it as a joke.
No, they didn't think that was funny.
They didn't think it was funny.
But I asked that because obviously ours are way different. And I tell the people that work on this very small podcast that I've actually been recognized twice in an airport, flying for my other job, and I'm just like, and my feeling's way different. I'm just like embarrassed. I'm like, people know who I am. That's not cool. Because it's like one here and then one there. Because here in Fort Worth, I have a lot of friends.
Like, I don't get approached a lot, so, I try to stay away from a lot of places that are, like, really busy, because sometimes I feel like people know. Like, actually I do, like, they don't say something, they won't say anything, but
It's like you can see.
I look over, bam, they're staring.
Yeah.
A couple minutes later, look, bam, they're staring, and you're like, man, they know who I am.
But at some point, this is what, I don't know how you feel about this. At some point, you're gonna have to worry about, can I even go to can I go to Walmart?
That's what I was about to say.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I go to the store? Or am I gonna have to have people that are gonna go to the store for me?
Or just like deliver it to your house.
Right?
Whenever
Yeah.
Louis and I did a show in Austin, and one morning he's just like, hey bro, let's go, there's a taco truck right here. So I'm like, we're both like in shorts, muscle shirts, chanclas, and we're walking. As soon as we get out of the truck and we walk around the corner, there's some guys and they're all like looking and they're like, that's the guy, hey, that's his friend right there, Louis, and that's the guy, look, boom, and man, I'm like, oh man, here we go. Everybody running up to us like it was the whole crew. But it's crazy, man. With Louis though, it's definitely like that. Like he can't go nowhere. He's gonna get approached. Like on the way to everywhere we go, like even in the stores. We can't go nowhere. They know that boy.
And you're right there on the cusp, bro. Like, it's gonna be you. Are you ready for that? Do you want that? That's a better question.
I'm just gonna continue working. You know what I'm saying? Whatever God has planned for me.
I love that. Yes.
And I'm just grateful and thankful for my opportunities right now.
And that's what's up. So if you could collab with one artist, just one.
Dead or alive or just
I like that. Dead or alive. I like that. I was about to say you're not contributing anything. You just did. Dead or alive. Who would it be?
Wow. I haven't really thought about that.
We're getting deep, man. We're going deep. I'm about to start. Like, I might have to send you an invoice for the psychiatry that we're about to
Man, I probably would. I'd probably choose one of like the newer generation.
Yeah?
Guys, I like a lot of Morgan Wallen.
Oh God, who doesn't? Until he shaved his beard.
Yeah, he shaved his head.
Yeah, he shaved his head and his beard.
Yeah, he shaved his head. Yeah, he shaved it. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably work with him. I like Morgan a lot.
Yeah, and I love it because there's a bunch of newer artists that are coming out that have that old soul. The country that you listen to, that I listen to. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
I don't listen to country, sorry.
He definitely brings it.
Sorry.
You have a way to make everything awkward. I'm so glad you
I'm sorry, like I'm being honest.
Don't be sorry, be better.
But I do.
Now she's gonna listen to country.
Yeah,
Right?
She's gonna
yeah.
check her out.
It's not bad. It's not horrible. There are songs that I do enjoy listening to.
You like Morgan Wallen?
I don't know who that
As soon as you hear one of his songs or two of his songs, then you're gonna be like,
Okay.
Here's my Gen Z big facts. No cap.
So, anyways.
Just saying.
Oh, can I say that it's your?
Yes.
So, it's Daniel's birthday today, guys.
Hey,
September
happy birthday.
29th.
See, I won't see this for a couple weeks, but I will say this, and then we're gonna get back to Chris. Like the outpour of love that I've gotten from the tens and tens that watch us. Man, Eric, same thing. Whenever his birthday last month, like we appreciate that. Appreciate
Hey, happy
it.
birthday.
Appreciate it.
Wish you many
When's
more
yours?
blessings. February. I'm in February.
Do you want to say the day or no?
February 2nd, that's my birthday.
Second.
2nd of February, that's it.
That's when my youngest was supposed to be born, but she came out on the 8th. Yep. Yep. So,
February, all of February is good, so.
yeah.
2nd, 8th, whatever.
You know what I love about February?
What's that?
It's a good travel month. So if you go to Vegas, that's when I usually take my boys trip to Vegas. It's very comfortable in the day and it's cool at night. It's perfect weather. Perfect travel weather.
I haven't been to Vegas in forever, but man, they keep like, I get comments and stuff saying come to Vegas.
Look it, man.
Eventually.
Next thing you know, you'll be on stage with Garth.
I wish.
That'd be
Shout out to
awesome.
Garth. Garth is awesome, man. I love Garth.
The hardest one that you
He would
have,
probably be like the next one I would do something.
here's going to be the hardest if you can. And this is the hardest one, I think, is George Strait. Because Garth will tell you himself. He said it.
George is about to release an album. He's working on an album right now.
Is he really? Oh, I can't wait for that.
I just saw it the other day.
But yeah, they say that George comes out, he doesn't move, he sits in one place with a guitar and a mic, and the crowd's going crazy the entire time, and he has to put no effort into it. That's why he's King George.
George is awesome.
That's
I
crazy.
never got to see him perform. But yeah, I think he was here at Dickies Arena a while
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Wasn't it
No,
good?
he's coming November.
He's coming November.
November, he'll be here. November, I forget the date. He's here in November. Tickets are crazy expensive.
It's on my birthday.
Crazy expensive. November 18th. Aren't you
Where
impressed
at?
that I
Where's
run
he
it?
gonna
be?
Dickies.
At Dickies?
Yeah,
He'll be there the 17th and 18th.
17th and 18th. Yeah, he's coming. And that's crazy that he's still touring out there doing this
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I've seen
That's some good records.
Yep,
If you
absolutely.
got to choose anywhere to perform, where would you? Anywhere.
So that was a good question. So we're gonna go back and talk about. I want to go to Las Vegas and perform at the new hotel that they have. It's like a dome or something.
That's fear.
Yeah, the Sphere. I want to go there. I want to perform at the Sphere. That would be awesome.
What's the biggest crowd you've been in front of, if you want to answer that?
The biggest crowd? Man, I don't know. I mean, I've done some big crowds, so couldn't say it could be in the thousands for sure.
That's
But here recently, probably like I would say maybe Denver, Colorado was about 600 people, and that's pretty big. And it was like jam packed, and it was crazy, like crazy.
That's awesome. And so, oh god, we're probably gonna have to cut this off at some point because I keep coming up with more questions. So tell me about the first time you did a show and the audience was singing along and you were like, they know my lyrics? Because I've seen it on
Okay,
TikTok.
so-
It happens.
This was even before TikTok and all of that stuff. I had a song called, the video's still on YouTube, but it was called "Drop Your Clothes" with my bro Dion. He's an artist. He's from Dallas, Texas, and it's called "Drop Your Clothes." I know it's crazy, but they used to sing that song at the shows, and I did a show it was a lowrider show at Cat Stadium. It was a long time ago, but I remember them. Chingo Bling opened up for me. And he was on stage before, and I was like, "Yeah, how did I get behind Chingo?" But anyways,
Whoa, there you
that
go.
it was pretty cool. And then whenever I performed, I mean, I just remember because I wasn't there. We had just walked in, and as we were walking in, like it was like 10 of us, and then I turned around, and it was like 40 or 50 people behind me walking into the stage. And then we got to the stage, and then like Chingo came off. And Dion started singing, and we started doing Drop Your Clothes, and they were like singing the lyrics and everything. I was like, man, I wanted to cry. But so yeah, that was the first time. That was the first time.
That's awesome, man. And just to say that, I believe, if I have my facts correct, I believe you did a hook for one of my buddy's car clubs, for their like the song that they have for their club too. I believe it was you. Sweet Dreams Car Club here in Fort Worth. I believe it was a guy named Frog that may have approached you to do that hook for them.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
It was years back. It was years
Yeah.
back.
Okay. Possibly. Then.
Yeah, and so I was reminded of that the other day. The guy that set us up with all the equipment, he's the one that reminded me because he's the president of the club. So, yeah.
Definitely could have been possible, man. I made a lot of music for a lot of years, like so many albums, so many records, like it's Chris Cash, and I got into like a group with my brother. Shout out to my brother Ocean View, SBOV, and we're on a Baby Bash's album. We had a record called Mexican Burt Reynolds. Put it on the player made
I've
Mexican.
heard that.
You know, that was me on that record.
Okay.
Me and Ocean View and Bash and Lucky. And just, you know, it goes, man, I could go back. But yeah, so like the music and all that stuff, man, I've been around for a hot minute.
Well, that's good, man. Genuinely, congratulations to your success. Like, to know that a hometown boy has gone from, having a dream to living a dream. Like, those success stories, like, we want to hear all about those and continue to celebrate the small wins to the huge success. So keep doing what you're doing, influencing other people, knowing that there are other things that you can do in a positive impact and give back to the community that you came from.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
that's
That's the most important thing. Like, remember, if you're in a position to help somebody, you should do it. Yeah, that's a good word.
No, I love that. Yeah.
I was gonna ask something else, but you pretty much answered
He
my
answered
question.
yours.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay.
So what you're saying is you're irrelevant today.
She's just chilling.
But I'm sure we could go for forever, but we've looked at the analytics and about 30, 45 minutes people start dropping off and we're at about that point. So anything
Because
you
they
got?
get bored of hearing your voice. So whatever.
And again, I'm so glad you came back.
Aren't you happy I'm back?
Yeah. Alright, what's up?
Alright guys, well, I know I didn't really talk much, but
There you go.
anyways, but thank you for watching.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
That's it. We're good. Mr. Chris Detroit, if you want to, for the 10s and 10s that watch us, it's something to close us out with, inspirational or other.
All right, y'all. Before we go, I gotta say one thing.
Let's hear it.
This is for the children. This is for everybody. You could be an adult. Don't ever give up on your dreams. You could do whatever you want, and you could have whatever you want in life. Just believe in yourself. Let God lead the way. It can happen. And thank y'all so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank y'all for having me. It's really awesome. Much love to y'all. Y'all continue to do this, keep pushing, and maybe I can help bring somebody else to it.
We'd love it if you can. Yeah, we'd love to work with you some more. And I love what you said, because even though Eric's not here, Gabe couldn't be here today, I know he's probably at home on his desk with his pencil, dropping a beat, trying to rap still, so that might be his inspiration. No, but for real, man, we really do appreciate you coming on. I know it's time away from whatever else you got going on, and just giving back to us something that's so small, so we definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. For the ones that watched, I think this one, for sure, like, there was a lot of good things that were said here, especially from Chris, and the way that you can not only give back to the community, but even when times get rough, there's always a way out. He's living proof, he's living testament to in his words, go follow your dreams, go do your thing. So thank you again. Thanks for sharing. Until next time, y'all.
Yay!
Bye.